everyone, today I'll be reviewing this highly anticipated Guillermo del Toro movie Pinocchio, just dropped on Netflix, and it is starring Ian McGregor, Olford Gregory. And this movie, when I saw the trailer, I was actually really excited for this movie. Because recently we just saw Pinocchio from Disney. I really like the Disney version of Pinocchio also, that was starring Tom Hanks. And this movie, I see it was playing in some theater, like select theaters. So some people have seen this movie, and uh, so I'm not a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro, who is really one of the most visionary director. His work in many movies are so, he has won 2-time Oscar. He's really very talented person. And in this movie, when you see this movie, you can see this movie, it is directed by Guillermo del Toro, who has very unique vision for his movie. And that is why I don't know if he was the right person to make this movie. So this movie, it is a stop animation, and I normally don't like this stop animation. They'll sometimes freak me out the way the character looks, and this one is one of them. And this story, it is a classic story about Pinocchio. And what do I think about this movie? All this thing I mentioned, it is true. Like Guillermo del Toro, he's really very visionary director, and his work, some of the movies are amazing. But this movie, Pinocchio, end of the day, I have to think about this movie. It is targeted for all age people, and it's including the little kids who know this character Pinocchio. End of the day, Pinocchio movie, the little kids, they're the one who will be watching it. And based on that, I think this movie, it is too dark. And some of the stuff he added in this movie for kids, I feel like it was really dark. So if you are planning to see this movie with your little kids, they'll be scared. Some of the scene this movie has, and some of the character this movie has, I was like, whoa, Guillermo del Toro, you are making this movie for Netflix, and you are making this movie for little kids. And that is why I feel like this movie, I liked it a lot. I thought it was very interesting, but end of the day, I have to think about the target audience for this movie. And this movie, it felt like he didn't understand the assignment. Although this movie, it is very creative and although it does have a lot of emotional cry scene. Again, for kids movie, I don't know if I liked it. Especially Pinocchio's dad, he was crying a lot because he lost his son. And this movie, whoa, there's some of the scene I was like, whoa, it is really sad, and it does touch your heart. But again, you have to think about the target audience you are making this movie for. You're not making R-rated Pinocchio. After watching this movie, I had to check the rating for this movie. It is PG, and yet they even added all this Nazi cam in this movie. And I was like, oh, are you serious? We are going with this? That means, of course, I think he was trying to make his movie different from Disney Pinocchio movie. I don't know, a lot of people didn't like Disney Pinocchio movie, but end of the day, you have to think about Disney Pinocchio movie, the target audience. I think that movie did justice to people it was making for. Then here, it is too dark, I would say. Not that it's not good, it's still definitely good. Some people will definitely enjoy this movie, like especially adult. Then again, how many adults will be checking out Pinocchio movie? That is, you gotta ask yourself. And overall, if you are planning to see this movie for you with your little kid, the whole family, it's not gonna work out, which will make many people mad, because Pinocchio is one of those movies you want to see this. Then again, how many people actually watch this stop animation picture? I feel really sad saying this, because I was really looking forward to seeing Guillermo del Toro version Pinocchio movie. Then again, that is exactly what I got. That this movie, it is a Guillermo del Toro version Pinocchio, and I'm not complaining that I didn't like. I'm just complaining that I don't know if the Guillermo del Toro is the right person to direct a Pinocchio movie in the first place. Although I really like the critic. The cricket played by Ian McGregor. I thought his voice work was really amazing. And once again, he's really good in everything he does, and I really liked his voice. Also, I like the dad voice. He's from Game of Thrones. I forgot his name. And also the actor who was giving Pinocchio voice. All the voice work in this movie truly is amazing, and I feel sad this movie was too dark for the subject it was covering, and that's my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie, and if you enjoyed this review, don't forget my other reviews on other Netflix movie and TV show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.